How about now? I'm sorry. So besides the bickering we have going on, which there's quite a bit that you didn't get to hear, thank God for you.
We were actually saving you.
I think we were. On today's show, we're going to quickly touch on the WBC. Then we're going to go into the tourney. You have to go into the tourney. There's a lot to talk about on the tourney. Is there still no sound, everybody? You should be hearing us now.
I think that was her. They were pretty close timestamp wise. It might have been the same issue. There we go.
Yes, we can be heard. We are good.
Okay.
We apologize in advance for what you do here.
You know what it was is before the show, these two mercifully, just going at it like two little children, brothers in the back seat of the car while you're driving to the vacation spot, and they just start hitting each other, That's what this was. So did you guys want to go back to your opening shtick?
You know what?
Not really. I won, and that's
no. Let's put our money where our mouths are.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I'm stepping back. You guys go for it.
Lunch bet.
Definitely, yeah. I'm actually free this lunch.
This won't be an expensive lunch. I got to tell you. Go ahead.
No. Well, it won't be paid out today.
Yeah, it won't be paid out today. But next week, In-N-Out is going to be on one Lucas Wright.
No, I think you guys should do a lunch bet for Bobby Q.
Wow, that actually is pretty expensive.
What?
I don't know if I've ever actually been there.
And let me tell you, there's a reason why.
Where is it?
It's as close to
off the 17 and Dunlop area.
Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, okay.
Very good. I will give Ralph that.
Possibly. Let me check out those menu prices before I commit to that.
I was going to say.
I'll commit to a lunch bet right now.
You ever want to shut people up? Bring up good places.
We have a standard. Me and Luke have established that one. So that and that standard I think can be established. Lunch bet. It sounds great to me.
UCLA.
You get plus 4.5. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic.
Okay. You all heard it here. We have UCLA UConn tomorrow at, I think that's the night game. 5:45 p.m.
Let's go Huskies.
Luke has UCLA plus 4.5.
You are the one who wants to support Cronin. I just want you to know that.
Listen, you got to take the value when you can find it.
That old turd and some
you got to take the value when you can find it.
My goodness.
4.5. Book it.
Book it. All right, here we go. Let us start out the show. I don't know that we've actually said this where people can hear us, but in case you want to also comment and tell us that we can now be heard now, you can, of course, do that on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, or on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, you can't do it on Instagram because we're not live on Instagram, but that's okay.
But hey, no. If you want to hear our reels, if you want to hear
that's our real capital.
That is where we are really talking each and every day. Really.
And Tanner Gray's on here saying, "Go Luke."
Tanner Grind.
Oh, okay. I say, is it Grind?
There's an N at the very end.
I
got you, Tanner.
Important Y in there.
Thank you for watching. I got you.
Wow. Sports Girly is starting stuff today. Luke, I did one of your March Madness value bets and I lost. Do I get In-N-Out?
You do not, because if you had done the value bets, you would have gotten Venezuela, which we're about to start talking about here.
You mean, Venezuela.
And that would have paid for all of your other value bets so far.
That is true. That was a big one.
We didn't post that one, but you're right.
We did say
that. No, you did say it.
And I know Sports Girly saw that.
No, you said it. I will back you.
Thank you.
You absolutely said it.
He certainly did. He's been Team Venezuela since the beginning. But let us talk about it. Ralph, Venezuela, not Italy.
I thought that was a good game.
That was a fantastic game.
Italy had him for 7 innings, and then Venezuela just took over. And then Venezuela they played better at the end when you had to. You tip your cap to a team like that. You drink your espresso, you tip your cap, and you go beat your wife down in the clubhouse. I mean, that's what Italians do. Phil, you're Italian, aren't you?
Not where it counts, apparently.
Phil, are you Italian?
But yes.
Then you ultimately will wear a wife beater and hit your woman.
Well, I do
with a cross on.
I have seen quite a few wife beaters coming out from the Phil side.
Wife beaters do exist in my repertoire.
Okay. Well, it was a great game. That was the game before, obviously. The big game to talk about is USA against Venezuela, because that's where you said Venezuela was going all the way. I mean, you had that down.
I nailed it.
Did nail it.
You nailed it.
I truly believed in them. They really pulled through for me. I like to think in the clubhouse that they were playing the reels of me supporting them on a loop, and
On a
that's what
shrine.
really gave them that final.
Oh,
push.
that one that you sent them when the Team USA Speedo on? I remember that reel. That was a good reel.
I only have Venezuela underwear. That's it.
Not sure what that
I can
means.
verify that.
But no, it was a great game.
You guys
I think
are
you
way
can.
too good of friends.
I think you can very clearly tell Venezuela just wanted it more. I think you could kind of tell a lot of other countries in general this tournament wanted it more.
Yeah, I wanted to make that point because it feels like this is their everything. Where in the USA, it's just a tournament.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, I mean, and I think that's cool. I mean, it was the passion in this tournament was unbelievable, right? It was some of the best instant baseball you got to see right away. I mean, because usually in this time of year, oh, it's spring training. It's kind of boring. No one's really doing anything. And you got to see October baseball in March. Pretty impressive.
I think for most of the other teams, I mean, really, I think the MVP of this tournament really was the fans. The fans showed up in droves. The fans showed up in a fervor. The fans showed up in a frenzy. And for certain teams, USA specifically, I think the fans showed out with more care and passion. Look, far be it from me to be the guy who's continuously right on this. But Aaron Judge is not the guy you want. This is, Ralph,
What? Why not?
have I not been the guy who, when we talked about last year, heading into the season, as we will do this year,
Mhm.
you had, and he is unanimously seen as number 2 behind Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
There are reasons why I don't put Aaron Judge quite that high. He still goes high.
Yeah, you
But
have issues with him.
I have issues with him because he doesn't show up in these moments, and he's only good on one side of the ball. And whenever he doesn't show up in those moments that you need him, granted, he gets you to the moment. I guess that's worth something. But James Harden, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have compared him to somebody else who fails to live up to good moments.
Don't besmirch former ASU great James Harden.
Former ASU great, former Houston strip club retiree, James Harden. Yes, absolutely. Actually, to be honest, he's still probably an active player in those.
100%.
Yeah, never mind. I stand corrected. But Aaron Judge does not show up in these big moments. Aaron Judge is not going to be left at plate swinging. He's just going to wait and with his giant Paul Bunyan stature, just be up there and be left up there with his great axe, just looking like a guy who's just saying, oh, you know what? Somehow the World Baseball Classic is more important than the World Series. First comment was where I knew that this was going to be wrong, because then now we're seeing the pressure ramp up and how well he does in pressure. And then 2, then goes out there and has an absolute stinker. Fantastic. Thank you, Aaron Judge.
It
Thank
reminded you of the 24 World Series.
you. Yeah.
It really he can't seem to get up for that big moment for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I think what's crazy is I just don't know why he was ever. I know why. It was just such a poor decision to have him be the captain. I truly did not understand it. I don't think that we ever saw a single quality moment of him being a captain at all this whole tournament.
I would agree with that.
I mean, we all heard that quote unquote like pep talk he gave at the start of the tournament, back when the games really didn't even matter that much.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is you have the fiery personalities who would make a perfect captain right next to him in Bryce Harper.
Mhm.
There were so many other candidates on that team who could have stepped up to be the captain.
I love me some Bryce Harper.
He came through, right?
Yeah. And I think that he would have been, I think he should have been the captain.
Yeah.
I think hopefully if he plays in the next one coming around in 3 years, he'll be the captain then, I would hope, if somebody else doesn't step up in that time. But hopefully the manager's gone. Back to back.
Not even
silver.
hopefully. He needs to be.
Yeah.
It is unforgivable what that man did. And I don't care who we got. If we got to go out there and get Rusty, I don't care who we got to get. Like just some guy off the street who's just telling about like spitting some sunflower seeds. A net neutral could have done something. It's
in the
unbelievable.
Olympics that are coming up, the summer, they're going to have baseball.
Yes.
And
Yes, it depends on the host
Dave
country.
Roberts is the manager for the U.S.
It's a little bit different though, right? Because because you can't with the timing, it's hard to get an active manager there for the World Baseball
and there's only
Classic.
6 teams.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, they can't get into a huge tournament, right?
So do we know, and I guess this is a perfect segue into our second bullet point about the WBC, but do we know what the timing is going to look like for the Summer Olympics with baseball?
I think it'll be in the summer.
Wow. That's the hard hitting analysis.
That was hard hitting right there.
So is it going to be during roughly the All-Star break? Is it going to be?
I don't know.
Are there going to be 2 breaks for the?
I have a start date at July 14th, 2028.
So that's right around the All-Star break. So they'll do.
Is that for the Summer Olympics or specifically for baseball?
Summer Olympics.
That probably means that MLB will take a break, an extra long break for the All-Star.
Just ask them to do baseball
which is
as
typical
early as possible. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's going to be an incredibly interesting setup there because hockey, I believe, does the same thing in the Winter Olympics. They just take an Olympic break for the whole league.
Yep.
And
the dates that I have as of right now, these things can change, but dates will be July 13th through the 19th. It's only 6 days to compete.
Yeah, and there's only 6 teams, so
which makes sense. Now, here's what I'm wondering. In spring training with WBC, players are not ramped up yet.
No.
Players are not in the mindset of playing baseball every single day. Players, realistically, nobody knows how their season's actually going to go when spring training is happening. The middle of July, in the dog days of summer, you're basically at the All-Star break. You're basically at the trade deadline. All of your pitchers should be fully stretched out unless somebody had some sort of weird injury at the start of the year.
You should be in good playing shape.
You know roughly what type of season your team is having.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of impact are we looking for from players? Because on one hand, all of your players are warmed up, stretched up, ready to go. On the other hand, now there's tangible consequences for playoff teams or fringe playoff teams trying to make a push to let their star go play in the Olympics and then get hurt and lose him for the rest of the year. So what are our thoughts here? I personally think it's going to be very interesting to see how Dave Roberts, if he's going to be the one managing it. How does he treat the Dodgers players with a little bit more kid gloves? Because he's like, these are my players. I don't want them to get hurt. Like, I think that's going to be such an interesting dynamic because this year, everyone either got insurance or they didn't. They got approval from the teams because it was before spring training. You could count it as part of your warm-up. You don't have that luxury in the Summer Olympics. So I'm very curious how that's going to work out.
Where I think it plays better, the WBC is in March, right? So you're asked to give 100% intensity in March.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even ramped up and ready to go, especially pitchers. Pitchers more than anybody, right? So you're really risking injury at that point. As a pitcher, as a father of a pitcher, and you watch how this builds, there's a gradual buildup to get ready for the season. I mean, and it's dangerous as heck for a pitcher to be in the WBC and go 100%, 100 miles an hour in March. I love the games. I love the tournament. It scares the heck out of me to watch because I'm always waiting for that arm to fall off. Right. The Olympics is different. Like you just said, it's the middle of the season. So I feel the guys are in good enough shape where their bodies, they know what's going on so far, first part of the season. They can play within their limitations based on still play really well and go at a high intensity. But you're right. There's always going to be, anytime you get out of your league and go play somewhere else for someone else, whatever it is, there's always that risk of getting hurt. Now, I think in the contracts, I understand. I believe there's a clause somewhere that allows them the ability to do this. So the team can't say you can't do that unless it's written in.
Yeah.
But I think in the agreement they have with the Players Association, they're not allowed to do that. For me, it scares me anytime, but I'd rather see a summer tournament than a March tournament.
Well,
I think it's safer.
Well, but okay, so that's interesting. But where I wonder how this will affect is whether or not we'll see almost just nonstop Tarek Skubal situation, but at least maybe throughout the pitchers, maybe not the through the lineup, everyday lineup. Maybe that'll be different.
It won't matter for pitchers. You're talking maybe 3 games max. So you're going to pitch one time and you're done.
Well, not if so where I'm wondering is like Mason Miller, where he's a relief closer. He's been fire throughout. I mean, obviously through the end of last season, and then to close out the season, and then for in relief efforts here for Team USA. Obviously,
great.
He was exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they had to go out and essentially petition the Padres to see if he could pitch for the last game should they have needed it and everything else. I don't because yes, it's 3 games in 5 days. but it's something to where you're wondering whether or not that volume. I think that's going to be where politics of the gameplay of where your team is. If you're the Reds and all of a sudden you're not in the playoff hunt, I mean, where will the talent be from teams that are not making the playoffs? Where will they be? I mean, that are assuredly by the trade deadline not making the playoffs. We saw this last year. There was not an active trade deadline really last year because the vast majority of teams were in the hunt, bare minimum.
There were a lot,
yeah. There weren't a lot of teams by trade deadline that were out. Just Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks were like the big sellers last year.
And even then, they were still in it, and they did not fully commit to selling. Yeah, they still kept a lot of key pieces.
So I don't know what teams will be forgiving of a Team USA, even, I mean, let's go to like Team Japan, wherever other countries to say, hey, we're going to need your pitcher to go a bit longer. We'll only need one game for him as a starting pitcher, but like, can we, because of the rest of the pitching rotation, can he go an extra inning? Can he go an extra?
Those countries will say yes.
6.
No, well, they will.
The countries will. I'm wondering whether or not the teams.
Think about the mindset in a league like Japan. It's all about country first. So they're all for it. Go use the heck out of my guy let's win this tournament.
Well, of course
they don't care.
I'm not concerned about them. I'm concerned about the teams to say like where they will say, if you go above an extra 10 pitches above, then I mean 1 pitch maybe we'll be forgiving, but an extra 5 pitches going forward, we will heavily disinterest our players in playing it in the next 4 years, 6 years, and this will affect our commitment towards obligations going forward. I don't know what that will look like.
I see that as more of a U.S. issue than in any other country.
Yes.
So I'm with you. I understand that.
I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. I think it'll be better because, like we've kind of hammered on so far, in March, you're not stretched out. Those 10 pitches matter. Once we hit July, we're talking most of the starting pitchers and most of even the relievers here are going to be good for 100 plus pitches or 20, 30 plus pitches. You're not going to
have a Clayton Kershaw just to be an innings eater in the Olympics because he'll be actively necessary in a regular season.
If you're smart, you will. Because if you're smart, you'll grab pitchers like that.
Who fits that function though in a regular season that won't be fitting that function for their team?
But it's one start. And you're already going to be, your body is already acclimated to doing that. You're obviously, you're not going to let them go out and throw 120
pitches. Yeah, they're not going to throw a complete game.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. But these pitchers throwing 100 pitches in July, with obviously exceptions for people who get hurt. Sorry, I got some weird feedback there. But
did someone say something to you?
Apparently.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it was just kind of crazy, like not kind of crazy, but it's your body's already going to be ready. You're not going 120 pitches. I fully lost my train of thought with that.
Your body,
I fully was like, what just happened?
It's like Tanner online says, Luke only gives out bangers.
It's true. It's true.
I don't want definitions of bangers because it scares me.
I think all in all,
your relationship here scares me a little bit.
I think all in all, too, it is a problem certainly to kick down the road.
Yes,
it is. In this, I wonder if an Olympics ever correlates to the same year as an Olympics for the World Baseball Classic. I wonder how that problem gets solved because I can't imagine a team committing a player to both.
World Baseball Classic is every 3 years.
And the Olympics
overlap would be 12 years.
Yeah. So
in theory.
Yeah, in theory. I don't know. I guess we'll worry about that when it happens.
I know. I don't think because if you're the Yankees, would you be like, all right, you get one Aaron? I mean, Aaron Judge aside.
Sorry, it's 2. It's 2 more Olympics.
Yeah.
So not the 28 Olympics, the 32 Olympics will match up with the WBC.
That's what I'm saying.
And they could just adjust the WBC 1 year if they want to.
Yeah.
Which I think they would probably do.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to, right?
Yeah, I agree. And
you're not beating the Olympics. The Olympics is just a better version of what you do.
Because if you're the Yankees, you're not saying you get Aaron Judge for the World Baseball Classic and the Olympics.
And that's that's even if they have baseball in the Olympics that year.
I mean,
if we're not a host country that cares about the baseball, then it might not even be in.
One more thing.
Yes.
One last observation of this what I thought was a fantastic tournament. And congratulations, Venezuela, because you absolutely deserve to win this tournament. You played the best team baseball of anybody, by far. USA, you were a disappointment because of many reasons, but I still feel you were a disappointment. But I will give you this, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. You lost with class. Is that true? You guys think that? You're both smiling. Why are you smiling? I want to give Bryce Harper his flowers.
One, I think everybody from 5 miles away knows what's
I'm not
coming.
going after what you think I'm going after.
Okay.
So Bryce Harper, you get your flowers because Bryce Harper, after the game, went and shook and hugged everybody on the Venezuela team and congratulated them on a win, which I thought was just such a class move.
Yes.
It just makes everything that much better, right? It brings the spirit of the tournament in the forefront. Hey, at the end of the day, we're all baseball brothers. Great job. You guys played great team ball. Unlike the Dominican Republic, who lost to the U.S., and Soto comes out and claims, oh, the best team lost. Now, I wasn't going to say, unlike Canada, who lost to the U.S. and complained about it the whole time, but you guys, you forced me to say
he's not going to say that.
He could have not. But that's crazy.
And he's still not.
The point I was going to make is this trend lately of these teams that are good, that lose, that sit there and complain about the best team lost. I can't stand that look and that feel. It's just a bad look and feel, Team Canada. It's a bad look and feel, Dominican Republic. Look at what the U.S. did. They lost with class. At the end of the day, they were, talent-wise, they're the better team. They lost. They got beat by a team that played better baseball, right? So you give them their flowers, you give them a hug, you give them a pat on the bun, and you walk away.
I guess my question to you, Ralph, is there ever an appropriate time that one can say the better team lost?
No.
Not
it's childish.
The one example I can do is whenever the Golden State Warriors, the first championship that they won in the Steph Curry era, where they did not meet a single team's starting point guard in that playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
That's one where I think that there's a couple teams I could say, we just lost to injury that
scoreboard.
I don't know.
Injury is part of the game.
I'm going scoreboard.
Okay.
I will tell you right now, the 2012 LA Kings were not the best team in hockey, but they raised the Stanley Cup.
They were the best team that day, or in hockey's case, the best 4 days.
And context withers away with time.
Every year in every sport, the best team doesn't win the championship. That's just a fact. You can go down a list, and we don't have time for it today, but you can go down a list, and I guarantee you can point out teams that were better on paper, should have been better than the team that won. But they didn't execute for whatever reason, whether it's in a championship game or in a playoff game, whatever reason, and they didn't raise the trophy that year.
And that's why we love sports.
Exactly. That's why we play the games.
Looking at you, Dirk Nowitzki. Hey, did we not all love when he won?
Yeah.
With having his own flu game, beating the newly crowned Big Three in Miami.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Miami was the best team in the NBA that year.
By far, but they lost.
They lost.
They made up for it the next year, I think.
Next 2 years.
Luke, I think you're underselling that. That particular Dirk Nowitzki team went on the single greatest, hardest gauntlet I think has ever been constructed.
I believe they had to go against LA.
They had to go against Lakers, Shaq and Kobe last year Lakers. They had to go up against, obviously, the Big Three. They went up against San Antonio as well.
I don't think Shaq was there.
That
was 2012.
Oh, yeah. That was the year after Shaq left, but they were the defending champions at the time. And they had to go up against San Antonio, and then they had one more. I think it was a young baby Oklahoma City Thunder.
Possibly.
Yeah, it was absurd, the run that they went up against. Regardless.
I just wanted to make the point.
That's fair.
Stop complaining when you lose. If you think you're the better team, then win the game. Otherwise, shut up. You know? And you know what? Congratulations to Venezuela. You guys were the best team in this tournament, and you're welcome from Maduro.
Don't know if we needed that last line.
I think we do, because they're happy about it, so I'm happy for them. So congratulations for the WBC. Congratulations for the new leadership. And Juan Soto and Team Canada, just shut up and stop being babies. Take the loss and move on. We talked about it last week, lose with class. That's what losing with class is. Thank you, Bryce Harper, for showing them how it is to lose with class, because that's how you do it. That's American. I love it.
I will agree with you. It is such loser talk to be the one to say it. Have somebody else make that case for you that the better team lost. To outright say it,
especially in this day and age, I promise you.
Somebody's making that case.
Somebody will say it for you. You do not need to say it. In worst case, go privately tap them on the shoulder and have them say it.
Hey, thank you.
And Bitter Dolphin fan is on Facebook chat. And he says many hockey teams who won the President's Trophy didn't win the Stanley Cup. So the President's Trophy is for the
most regular seasons wins. Yes.
I did not know that you would know that. That's impressive.
Yes. I'm proud of you, Philip.
I'm really proud of you. I'm going to buy you some ice skates. Yes. So, and that's a great point, Bitter Dolphin fan. Absolutely. So, all right. I think we can move on from this, but that was just, we wanted to give Venezuela their flowers. They deserved it.
Was our bet recorded audio wise?
What bet?
For the
lunch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Bobby Q.
Possibly.
I love how somebody who has no stake in it is adding our stakes.
Right.
And both you and I are like, I don't know.
I lost a bet to the chosen one from the Daily Blender, that show, about the Vikings last year. And I paid him back 2 weeks ago. We went to Bobby Q and I bought him lunch.
More power to you.
And I had never known about Bobby Q, and I took him there and
it's very good, isn't it?
I can't eat that food, but it smelled really good.
I thought that you could eat barbecue.
It smelled really good.
It's very good.
He was eating like a pig.
Well, he was probably eating a pig.
Let me have half a cow, and that's what he basically got.
I'm sure he did. But I am, and Luke is too. I'm not going to deprive him of this. I'm somebody who pays my bets, and that's one that it would hurt me to pay financially, I think. So that's where I think we're like,
it should hurt.
I'll have to actually see how much meal at Bobby Q
I paid. And granted, I didn't eat, but I did buy a meal that I brought home for somebody here. I think I paid $68.
Well, but you don't tip, so
that's with a tip.
Okay. Well, speaking of our bet, because it pertains to where we're going next, boys, it's the tournament. It's March Madness, and dare I say that the first round is the best round? Yes. I mean, after that, it just kind of, you get into specific matchups that look fun. You'll find a Kentucky versus Arkansas, and you're like, oh, remember Calipari was a part of both of these. Fantastic. Or you'll say, oh, Rick Pitino versus Louisville. Remember when you kind of get into grudge matches. But I mean, Duke UNC, you hope happens, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But really, the first round.
It's not happening this year.
No, it's not. Because we have had some upsets. Luke, where have the best games been thus far? Give us a few highlights.
Well, I have to say, we'll start off with our 112-5 upset. High Point winning 83-82 against Wisconsin. This was such an entertaining game to watch from start to finish. I know a lot of people thought Wisconsin was a dark horse to make a deep run this year. I know a lot of Arizona fans were scared of Wisconsin. They were getting PTSD flashbacks from the Frank Kaminsky Wisconsin teams.
Yeah.
PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah. But I think this was a great game. I don't know if High Point has enough to keep moving forward, especially because they're running against a buzzsaw in Arkansas.
How dare both of you?
Arkansas looked great in their win. Calipari is gonna be dangerous. That team could upset Arizona next round.
I mean,
okay.
Hold on there.
Wait,
continue.
High Point. Can we listen to the High Point coach real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we have a clip from the High Point coach that you guys don't think can go any farther.
Okay,
you've made that very clear. So here he is.
Something needs to be done about this non-conference scheduling. High Point and Miami, Ohio are 2-0 in quad one games. We couldn't get games. They couldn't get games. Akron couldn't get games. UNCW couldn't get games. Belmont couldn't get games. We won 22 of our last 23 games, and we didn't move up one spot in the metrics. Not one. We won 22 of our 23. We've won 25 games by double digits. That team right there is a fantastic team that beat 5 top 10 teams. If we can get games like this on neutral courts and some home games, I think we'd know who's really the best teams. I'm proud of these dudes, and we're not just here to win one game. We're here to get to the Sweet 16.
Oh, this guy's got some confidence.
I love it. I'm still picking Arkansas.
Likewise,
I do love it. No, but here's the thing. As much as I typically hate advocating for this, it's the world we live in. Move to a better conference. Nobody cares about High Point football. I don't even know if High Point has a football team, to be perfectly honest. But at the end of the day, if you want better games consistently, then you need to move conferences. It sucks that we are at that point.
But will conferences take them?
I think that you could find a conference, maybe even the Big 12, Philip.
High Point University does not currently have a varsity football team.
Perfect. I think you could easily find a conference like a Big 12 who's willing to add in a High Point basketball. I think that's what you're looking for. And here's the thing: even if you don't get one of the big conferences, MAC I think is a step up from where they're currently at.
Sure. Yeah.
What conference are they currently?
I'm not sure, but like this is part of why
the
like
Big
even
South.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. This is why GCU locally here. That's why they moved conferences. They're looking to be, in a more prominent conference.
So what you guys are saying is he needs to stop complaining and just move conferences?
No. So, I was just finishing out his point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to have two differing points. One, I love this. I love clamoring for give us more competition, give us more recognition. Going to the complete opposite side of the spectrum of saying the better team lost. I love saying, let us prove to you that we're the better team.
That's right.
That's a message we can get behind. That's American. That's the high point of life, baby. That being said, calm down there. I mean, just because you're
He was pretty fired up.
Yeah. I mean,
And he should be. That's his job.
oh, yes. That's a manager. That's a coach that I can believe it. Mark DeRosa, get the hell out. But I do enjoy High Point standing up for itself and saying, let us prove to you we want to be your homecoming game and then ruin it. Like, I love that. I adore that. However, there's no way that they're making it to anything. Me and Luke have had a differing opinion on this, and I'm so glad to bring this to the point. Duke versus Siena. I'm going to bring it back here. Duke versus Siena. Had Siena, a number 16 seed, beaten Duke, that was their championship. That was what would have made their season. That is something that they could have brought home to everybody, and everybody could have gotten engaged to that news because, baby, our life is made. That is what makes ourselves. Then they're done. Then that is when it ends for them. Because not only would Siena, I mean, if we're going into the minutia of it, Siena would have played every single starter except for one the entirety of the game, and that one person was out for 50 seconds, I think was what
10.
it was. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah.
A breather, a true breather of game time thing. They would have been spent. They would have been exhausted by the time they reached the next one, and they're not going any further. So just because High Point has made a name for themselves in the first round, good. That's fantastic. That's what your purpose is. You're an upset just to prove to be a stepping stone for somebody else's success story that can actually get further. I love that you're trying to prove yourself. I love that you're trying to build yourself into a program that can actually furthermore take on the challenge. But this was their win. Going up against Wisconsin and squelching their hopes, making sure that they do not go to the prosperity that Wisconsin possibly could have. That's where you go. That is your pun intended High Point. God bless you.
And they play Vandy next.
No, they play
Arkansas.
Is it?
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, I'm looking at the women's tournament. I'm sorry.
That's right. Right.
Well,
Hey,
They're in the women's tournament too. That's pretty impressive.
that is, yes.
That's another reason why a bigger conference should take them.
It's so hard when all you offer is basketball.
It is, but also I think it kind of also makes it a little bit easier. I think
That's true.
It's easier. Like, you don't have to say take all of my sports. You can point to this exact thing. Hey, we just upset Wisconsin. We can keep doing this. We just need more resources.
Yeah. So do you like the 11.5 points that you get with High Point?
That's a
Mr.
hard
Value?
one.
Is that a
is
value
a hard
pick?
one. I don't know if I'd call it a value pick.
Yeah.
But
what is the
it's
definition
very
of value?
close.
Because, Luke, I think given the fact that we've had a few losers here in the past, we do need a definition. Remind the people, what is the value?
So I want to clarify, because there's two different things that we've been doing.
Yeah.
For our daily picks that you might have been seeing get posted, those are daily picks of bets that I'm actually making because I think this is a legitimate good bet.
Him and his household are suffering because of these.
This is why he can't go for a lunch bet. He's got no money left.
Exactly. You will typically, the ones that I do on a daily basis, you're seeing them at plus 100, minus 102, minus 110. These are the ones that everyone can kind of jump in on, and it's basically a coin flip. The ones you hear on the show, the ones that are plus 400, plus 850, those ones are the ones where I'm looking at. Phil gave the perfect analogy. The odds might say it only happens 20% of the time. Well, I think that 20% is actually a lot higher. And I think that that's why you're getting good value in that. Yeah. So for a minus 11.5 for Arkansas, that's looking at a right. You're looking at a minus 110 probably at most books at that line, which to me, I could see High Point possibly covering it. I do think that Arkansas is possibly going to make a very, very deep run here. They have Arizona and Gonzaga in their way. And those will be tough opponents, but I think that they have the firepower there. They have the explosive point guard, which in my opinion is probably the best position to make deep runs with.
That's true. You see a lot of standouts in the tournament. Very rarely is it an Anthony Davis. It's usually a Steph Curry, a Kemba Walker. You know, you're looking at a smaller position.
So I would say that whenever you get to double digits in the second round and beyond, it's not a double-digit spread. It's not a bad bet, in my opinion. They just proved that they can beat a 5 seed. I think that they can go out there and hang with the 4 seed.
There's a lot of double-digit spreads today.
There are, and I'm kind of a little bit surprised by that.
Well, it's mostly because look at the seeding. I mean, if nothing else, whenever you're making a bet, are you going to feel more confident giving a Kentucky versus Iowa? I mean, that just brand recognition alone, you're going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go double digits on that one. But Houston versus Texas A&M, what chance do you really give Texas A&M? You're not giving it much, right?
And Houston came into this tournament pissed.
Oh, yeah.
They are looking to prove that they deserved a 1 seed and that they will be a solid contender here. I would not want to be in Houston's way, especially in these first couple rounds.
I feel bad for Florida. I feel like Houston was the one team that if they were in your same bracket, that was a pool of death where you're getting chomped on both ends of it until you get to the Final Four matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Your posted value pick for today is TCU.
Yes. How do you feel about that?
And they're up to a plus 12.5 right now.
They're up to plus 12.5. I feel great. I unfortunately had Duke winning my bracket this year. After seeing them barely be able to squeak out a victory against Siena, I am not confident in that at all. Tanner Grind, big Duke fan, texted him, "How are you feeling?" He also doesn't believe that they're going to win this year. And there's not a bigger Duke fan I know besides maybe his dad. And so I really think TCU is going to be poised to do basically the same thing Siena did, but better. I think that you're going to get a low scoring affair, which whenever it's a low scoring game, you always want a double digit spread in your favor. That's always great to get plus 11.5 or plus 12.5.
Tanner's coming at you.
Oh, what did he say?
He said rookie mistake taking Duke
to win
100%. 100%. And so I think that that is just kind of a solid pick when you're getting that many points on your side, because even if they don't have to win. They don't have to win. They just have to not get blown out. And I think TCU can do that.
You think Duke might be so pissed off because they were so embarrassed in the first round?
It's possible
that they come and just try to bury TCU.
It's possible. I think even one of their players admitted that they're like, yeah, we were expecting this to be a cakewalk.
Yeah.
But and I could see it going both ways. Are you going to learn from that and you're going to move forward? Or are you going to fall into that same trap again?
It seems like a lot of teams that this happens to in the first round come back in the second and third round, just kill people.
It's a very strong possibility. I just really like TCU's team. And again, it's because I think it's going to be a defensive battle here.
What about VCU? I mean, they took out North Carolina, which was surprising, right? I didn't see that coming. And now they have Illinois. And
they're overtime to do it, but they're
an 11-point underdog against Illinois now.
As someone who had VCU in their bracket, this wasn't surprising. This wasn't surprising at all.
Captain confidence.
If anything, I'm surprised it was only a 4-point win.
Wow.
North Carolina, not great this year.
North Carolina was so overrated this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really think that it was too big of a surprise VCU won. I do think that this is where it ends.
Illinois is impressive.
Illinois has had their ups and downs this year. I don't think that they are going to get past the Sweet 16. I think Sweet 16 is where their run ends. But I think that they can take care of business against the VCU team.
Fair enough. And I think it does bear mentioning, as you have long touted BYU. What happened? What happened in BYU? Texas comes in after winning their their first four, very different, first four matchup against NC State. What happened? You keep underestimating Texas.
I did. Boomer Sooner. Texas sucks.
Oh, this is why.
Actually, this does make sense.
Honestly, not actually part of my logic, but it does make it more painful when this happens. I made 2 big mistakes this year with my bracket, and they're both going to come back to hurt me. I had Duke winning it all. I had BYU making it to, I believe, the Elite 8, maybe the Final 4. I loved AJ. I loved him. He dropped 35 in that game. He did everything he physically could.
I'm always astounded by the free throws.
Always. That was the one big takeaway.
Well, whenever you have consistency, especially from a position where you don't necessarily have to be good at it, the fact that you can go 12 for 12 from the free throw line is very impressive to me. And in a obviously a pressure point game.
Yeah, I think BYU, where they failed was everyone around him. It hurt to watch the end of that game. The team was making just basic mistakes. They were not rotating where they should have been. They were not in the right spots offensively. You saw AJ giving it his all, but the rest of his team is just not at his and not close enough of a skill level for them to be able to help. And that's what led to Texas being able to get this win. All the credit to them. They identified, they said, hey, you're going to get yours. We're not going to stop you. And Sean Miller even said that in his first half interview as they were going in the locker room. He even said, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We're not stopping him. He admitted it. What did they do? They stopped everyone else around him. AJ put up half the team's points by himself. The other 14 members of that team put up a combined 36 points, and it's not enough. I think Texas will lose to Gonzaga. I'm going to keep going against Texas.
I like Gonzaga.
But
I was wondering if that was going to be the value pick today. Because again, 2 for 2. Luke has lost a lot of value based off of Texas, both in the NC State pick earlier, and then now, of course, BYU, and then now Gonzaga.
Do you see an upset anywhere today?
Today, I think I could see a couple upsets here. So first of all, we have they need to start pulling up, but St. Louis, the Billikens against the Michigan Wolverines, they are down 8 currently.
No, they're down 11,
I have 7.
No, they're down 11.
I have 8.
I have 7.
I'm at 11:44. We do not have the game on in the
It's 69-58.
studio. Okay, so then they must have just got a 3-point. But they're right. They're within striking range, and I think that they could make a push. I hope that they do. Another upset I see is TCU over Duke. This
would be a big one.
Yep, today I think that could be a very good one. Obviously, as we made a lunch bet earlier, UCLA upsetting UConn, I think is potential. I think the only other real upset that I'm seeing, and I don't know.
You know, the one that I'm curious at what your thoughts are, would be where is it? Purdue and Miami. The one thing I like about Miami is that their negative is that they have like no shooting. But what they do have is a tremendous amount of size, which I think presents matchup problems across the board. They feel like a aberration, as they also have a player that has played like professional Euro basketball that they just imported due to NIL standings, and that they've been able to utilize throughout this, obviously through this tournament. They blew out their early opponent here in Missouri at a 10 seed. I feel like Purdue, while yes, they beat Queens in their first round, I feel like Purdue, always a perennial just up to be upset team, and mix that up with Miami, who's under new leadership, a completely new team from last year, doesn't know any better. I think with the size, that's a team that I personally like.
I think that is a good pick. I think that is a solid logic and solid reasoning. I don't hate that at all. That is tomorrow morning's game. I think another thing that I kind of look for is, do you have that player who can put the team on your back for a stretch of 5 to 6 games?
Carry the scoring load, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Malik Renew, who is, I believe, possibly the guy that you were talking about. I'm not sure. But I think that he is someone who can do that for you. I think that this could be an upset. I think Purdue, personally, I have them moving on to the Elite 8. However, this is one of the matchups that I am most scared about, especially with the way that Miami handled Missouri in the first round.
I don't think, have we ever discussed this, Ralph? Who do you have winning the whole thing this year?
I didn't do a bracket.
You didn't do a bracket?
I didn't.
Fair enough. I have,
but I like I said this before, and mine's a weird pick, but I like Gonzaga and I like Duke.
Oh, that's fair. Michigan's my champion.
You went with Michigan. Okay.
I went with Michigan.
My wife,
Again, I like size.
my wife, I believe, went with the Florida Gators.
That would be a repeat champion. I
Yes.
believe the first. No, I'm sorry, UConn. But would be the second repeat champion here since the Gators themselves.
She doesn't really know much about college sports, but I was like, hey, do you want to put together a bracket?
Yeah, you led her correctly to at least get a number one. Like you can't.
Correct. I was like,
It
listen,
can't be unfair.
I was like, listen, like Duke has a less than 1% chance of losing this game. If that had happened, she would have never believed anything I ever said ever again. But for the most part, I tried to navigate her away from massive upsets. However, I did mostly let her decide. And I think she really kind of just decided based off mascots once we started getting into like the second round and on.
I'm curious. Trivia here. Do you guys know the lowest number seed? Without looking it up, hands up. Do you guys know the lowest number seed to have ever won March Madness?
Was it NC State?
It was not. It's 1985. If that gives you
That
guys
was 10 years before I was born.
same here.
I'm gonna say a 9th seed.
No,
I don't know.
number 8 seed, and it was
Oh,
Villanova.
I was close.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
close.
yes, Villanova. I do remember that.
Yeah. So I believe she ended up picking the Gators because that was her favorite out of the mascots.
She likes
by the
alligators.
end of it.
Gators are
Yeah.
a strong mascot. I do like a chop. You know,
So your wife has a lot of bite.
A lot of bite. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking for here.
I'm gonna so get you guys in trouble as I can. All right.
yeah.
Thankfully, she doesn't watch, so I'm good.
So
there.
you kind of already gave your pick, your angle.
I did.
We got to play your thing.
You can play it.
We
You can
have
play
to.
it.
And then you can give it again if somebody didn't hear it.
The books have set the lines. The public is chasing favorites,
So good.
but he's looking for value.
Value.
It's time for the right angle.
Dun dun dun.
And what was your dun dun does? We talked about this.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to record you going dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And your pick again is
I'm gonna go TCU money line
Money line. Yes. That's
plus 590 at
All right.
FanDuel.
plus
Um,
590.
I'm going with it.
right. So if you're a coward, that does mean that you can just take TCU in the points, and Luke would obviously still love that.
I would absolutely love that. I was, as we were doing this segment, I thought about being a coward. I thought about being like, you know what?
That's always good.
Yeah, I have it written down here, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm losing my own belief in this pick. And I started looking. I was like, what else do we got? Is there something else I can pull out? And then I stopped, and I was like, you know what?
I'm
Dun,
not a
dun,
quitter.
dun. This is my pick.
This isn't right.
I-
TCU on the money line is right.
Absolutely. It
Right
gives me
value.
the right feeling. Oh, yep, that's right, Tanner. They're not on the newsletter. They're not on the newsletter.
What newsletter?
There's a newsletter that I on occasion will send out
Oh,
that has
old school.
that typically will have a list of like 5 to 10 bets on it that I like. I typically do it during football season.
So you really do have a gambling problem.
He really does.
Sometimes, yeah.
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 And this is another reason he can't
Yeah.
afford to buy that lunch.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
That's why I stick to $10 bets only now.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun tournament.
What else we got? Anything on the tournament?
I think Arizona. I'm curious. So you obviously don't have Arizona. Where do you think Arizona specifically is going to fall short here?
I believe I have them falling short in the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I just think that a lot of people thought that they had one of the easiest sides of the bracket.
Yeah, I mean Purdue's in there, number 2. I always want Purdue in my bracket. Like if I'm somebody who has a rooting interest, Purdue is just weak sauce, and I'm willing to stand behind that.
My wife really loves the Boilermakers.
I mean,
so
it's-
Purdue did kind of go far just because every time she said it, she kind of laughed and said, okay, pick them.
So how much money do you pay Tanner? Because now he's on here saying only a problem if he loses and he doesn't.
I'm not paying him anything. He's just what you call a good friend.
Yeah,
He must
just-
be a really good
He's
friend.
just a big supporter of the
I
program.
thought Phil
and of
was a
me
good friend, but he's been
specifically.
cutting you down all
No.
morning.
I get as good
Tanner's
as I get.
Tanner's the OG. I was the best man in his wedding.
All right. So you owe him.
He was the best
All
man
right.
at my wedding. So, no, he's my guy.
Okay. I'm letting this go.
Fair enough.
And I pay him $200 a week.
Tanner, stop.
You
Don't know you.
You don't have to stop.
Don't know you, Tanner, but stop. All right. Are we done with the NCAA?
I think
I think so.
Let's do this, guys. Let's go to Reginald and do the International Soccer Minute, which is now Phil's new favorite segment on the show.
It is.
I'm going to have that shirt made. And then once Reginald's done, we'll get back and do a quick talk about that. And then we'll get into hour two. And hour two, we're going to talk NBA. We're going to talk MLB. And we got some NFL. So it'll be a packed hour. So let's go ahead and send it off to Reginald over in England.
From the Premier League to Serie A and the Bundesliga, it's time for the International Soccer Minute on the Weekend Warriors. I'm Reginald Bootsworth. Let's take a proper stroll around the international pitch with the clubs our lot follows. Starting with Phil's teams, Parma coming off that rather dreadful 4-1 defeat to Torino, now welcome Cremonese this weekend, a perfect opportunity to steady the ship. I fancy a response here, Parma 2, Cremonese 1. Eintracht Frankfurt face Bayern Munich. Never the fixture you circle with confidence. I think they'll give it a proper go. But Bayern just edge it, 2-1. Bournemouth up against Everton, two sides still searching for consistency. Feels like a stalemate, 1-1. Now for Luke's sides, Bologna versus Fiorentina, always a tasty Italian affair. I've got Bologna edging it, 2-1. Liverpool travel to Brighton, and with the title race heating up, they simply can't afford a slip. Liverpool 3, Brighton 1. Hamburg take on Dortmund in a massive German clash, but Dortmund's class should come through, 2-1. And for Ralph's teams, Napoli were in action yesterday and got the job done. A hard-fought 1-0 win over Cagliari, not flashy, but exactly the kind of result that keeps a serious side ticking along. Manchester City face West Ham this weekend, and City should take care of business as they usually do, 3-1. And Dortmund, as mentioned, take on Hamburg. I've got them winning that one, 2-1. And now Bootsworth's lock of the week. Liverpool over Brighton, no messing about. Too much quality, too much on the line. Liverpool get it done. And that's the Weekend Warriors International Soccer Minute. I'm Reginald Bootsworth, where the boots are polished, the takes are proper, and the football never disappoints. Now then, back to the lads.
And we are the lads.
I
like Reginald. By the way, Phil, your Parma team lost this morning 2-0. So you've been nothing but curses to them.
Way to go.
You got to get worse before you can get better. You would know that as a Seahawks fan.
Wow. Where's my trophy? Trophies.
Yeah, they were bad.
Trophies.
They were bad.
All right. So let's see here. We're 5 before the hour. Where do you guys want to go from here? Do you want to go into a break? Do you want to go right into the
do an
NBA?
early break
Yeah, we'll just do an early break here.
just to make sense.
Okay. Well, I need time for a break.
Okay, well, fine. By the way, I do enjoy all the memes of in the first round matchup when Arizona faced against Long Island. It was the battle of the T's, the T supremacy, and I quite enjoyed it.
No,
You
what?
understand?
I don't think I do.
Arizona,
Oh, yes,
Right,
Arizona
and then Long
T
Island
and then
iced tea.
Long
Yeah.
Island. Yeah.
that was my favorite. Man, it's just a personal favorite. What can I say? Florida going up against Iowa. Usually, birds don't fare well against Gators. That's probably going to be amongst my biggest blowout predictions.
Really?
Yeah.
No trust in the Hawkeyes.
They were begging for a loss against Clemson. What has Clemson done this side of Dabo?
That's fair. And unfortunately, the Billikens have, in fact, started to fade away, down 16.
All right, everybody. We come back. We got the NBA. We're going to hit hard on the Lakers. I got some comments on that. And then we got a bunch of other things to go through. I apologize for hour 1. Hopefully hour 2 will be better. We'll see you in 4:30.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah,
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep, just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan Dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite, make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The games.
If you like the NFL, this is your shot.
The matchups.
This will be the last year I will ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less two facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend Warriors. Warriors, come to play. Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody. It is a little after 11 a.m. on this beautifully hot Saturday morning.
It is hot.
It is.
In the studio. Boom, baby.
I'm Ralph Romano alongside my loud partner in crime. We've got Philip Amorine, Phil the Value, and Luke Wright.
Hello.
Mr. Wright to you. And this is the Weekend Warriors.
If you want to touch our hot stuff and be a part of our Donna Summer, you can join us in the comments with your commentary on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or X, formerly known and still referred to by everybody as Twitter. Please.
Is it really?
Yeah, nobody. Do you know a single person who's like, hey, I
go back
X'd you?
I go back and forth.
No, it's still I tweet, hey, I tweeted something hilarious. Give me a follow.
I've made the conversion to X. I just say X now.
Well,
I go back and forth.
Also, okay, so if somebody sends forth a proclamation on X, do you say it's an X? What does one actively do on an X? You post?
I said, hey, did you see this post on X?
Yeah. Forget it. You tweet.
You can live in the past. That's fine. Most Bronco fans do.
I often do.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Bronco fans, I know we are not going to get to this in the NFL, so I shouldn't spoil this, or because it's not going to be spoiled. But let's just say I sent Luke some scouting tape on Peyton Manning's kid. That kid throws a freaking dime. I almost cursed on that. It was so beautiful.
I thought you were going to go a completely different direction.
It was a tight spiral, man. That guy's got some prodigy in him. Let me tell you.
Comes from a good family.
Good family.
They
good
know
traits.
a thing or two.
He's also tall. He's like 9, right? He came up to Peyton's like navel.
He's not
One
9.
more Manning. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Can we stop talking about Mannings? We already saw how bad Arch is.
Listen, if we have this much hype over a non-Peyton or Eli Manning, imagine the hype with a Peyton or Eli Manning.
That's from the one Manning that wasn't a quarterback.
Bitter Dolphin fan is on the chat. Hamburg, and this is how he's making my headache bigger. Hamburg is beating Dortmund still early. Liverpool has lost.
Thank you, Bitter Dolphin.
I am sad about the Liverpool. But if
Hamburg is not going to beat my Dortmund. My Dortmund's bigger than your Hamburg.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Hour 2, I want to go right there. It's time for me to do this. I've been holding back, but I need to talk about the Lakers. It's just time.
Go ahead.
I watched them all week. I don't know if you guys have seen any NBA basketball this last week or so.
Impressive stuff. Combined Luka Doncic performance of 100 points.
Yeah, it took him 2 games to beat Bam's 1.
Oh my gosh. Luka's been killing it over this stretch, right? So the Lakers have won 8 in a row, 11 of 12. They're the number 3 seed right now in the West. And they're probably the team that nobody wants to play at this point.
Oh, well, man, I was with you. I was with you until that point.
Let's do this. So I'm not a fan of this gentleman, but Stephen A was talking about the Lakers, and I just clipped it real quick. And let me play this, and then we'll go down our road.
Because there's no answer for Luka Doncic. There's very few answers for Austin Reeves. And LeBron James is showing you that at the age of 41, in his 23rd season, there's very few answers for him as well. You see something like that transpire, you have to take notice. Of course, you don't look at OKC and San Antonio and say, no, you're usurping them, you're eclipsing them. But anybody else in the Western Conference, are you going to definitively state that the Los Angeles Lakers absolutely cannot beat them? You cannot say that. And that's why this is legitimate.
So I was asking the question, is this for real or is this just a little blip? And he's saying this is for real. You heard what he said. He's not discounting the San Antonio Spurs. He's not discounting the Oklahoma Thunder, but he's saying anyone else who's going to beat these guys.
This is the first time in a while that the preferred starting lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers has been able to get minutes. That they've been able to fill each other out and kind of fulfill their roles. Not having just 2 out of the 3, specifically with Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron, but having all 3 and having the surrounding pieces around them for the complete team.
They're healthy.
They're healthy.
First time.
I would boil down my comments to this. If you are not the Oklahoma City Thunder, the San Antonio Spurs, or the Boston Celtics, if you're not one of those 3 teams, I do not think that a case can be made for them above any other team. Meaning that if you are one of those 3 teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, Boston Celtics, they are the true title contenders this year that everybody thinks has an actual shot of winning. Outside of that, anybody else you want to add into that title picture, you cannot have them in and disqualify the Lakers. That does not exist. Any other team that you want to have, whether it be the Pistons, whether it be the Knicks, whether it be the Rockets, whether it be the Nuggets. The Nuggets used to be the Lakers' kryptonite. They do not have that stranglehold anymore. They do not have the luxury of invincibility specifically against the Lakers anymore. The Lakers have a piercing arrow against any and all other defense, and that is Luka Doncic. And then they have a secondary offensive option in Austin Reeves, who is quite frankly making himself a case to be certainly at this moment the best undrafted player ever in the NBA. And currently playing only behind, I think there's I forget who the one Hall of Famer is. I'll look it up in the offsite. But he's certainly currently making that case against Lou Dort is my competition in that currently. But yes, the Lakers, they're as real as you want to be in a fun take you 7 team in the NBA that they have right now.
Ben Wallace,
yes, is the one that he's going up against, Austin Reeves.
Overall, I would say that they are contenders. I would say that I would put them in the same category as the other 3 that you mentioned, Phil. I would do Celtics, Thunder, Spurs, Lakers.
Yep.
Those are my 4 true contenders
If
right
that's
now.
the case, then there's some value for you right there with the Luke value pick, because
That's true.
I do not have them beating. Should they run into any of those, which obviously they wouldn't run into the Celtics unless they were in the finals. But should they run into any of those three, they are just in a lower class then.
I disagree.
I can see where you're coming from. I think that for me, their top end talent is good enough to get them through. Luka has done it before with basically a worse version. This is a better version of that Dallas team.
Yep.
It absolutely is. Austin Reeves is an improvement over Jalen Brunson right now. LeBron James is an improvement over whoever you want to say was the third option on that Dallas team. I'm willing to bet that off the top of your head, you can't even think of who the third option on that Dallas team was.
Well, it depends on which iteration. You went with Jalen Brunson. Are we going Kyrie iteration or Jalen Brunson?
I'm going with the one that made the finals.
The one that made the finals was not Jalen Brunson. It was Kyrie Irving.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, if you say so. Then, because I thought that was when Jalen left like the year after.
No. Jalen Brunson had been with the Knicks by that point.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, the Kyrie version.
Yes. That would be their center, who I am forgetting, but I know it would be their center. He was a reliable two-way player. What his name is right now, it escapes me.
Yeah.
I will look it up.
So I'll take LeBron James over him.
Yes, certainly.
I think that at the end of the day, and I think Luka is becoming a better player than what he was back then. And I think he's getting better leadership. I think he's
TJ Washington.
Yeah. That was for sure. He's better than Max Christie.
Wasn't on that team. Marvin Bagley was who I was thinking of.
Oh yeah. Marvin Bagley for sure was a great team member. I think that this Lakers team is better than that Mavericks team. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing to say.
No, they are better.
Was Kyrie Irving even healthy for that playoff?
He was. That was the one that he was.
Okay. And so I overall, I think that they absolutely have the potential. Would I pick them first in that group of four? No, I would not. I would not pick them first in that group of four.
Wouldn't want to play them.
But I would not want to play them. That is correct. That to me, that's like the biggest difference. I just would not have any desire to want to have to play against that team.
It's funny when you watch this team, the things that have changed that have turned it, right? Number one, of health, of course, right? They're healthy. They're healthy up and down the lineup. Number two, they're playing defense. Really good defense. Their defensive strategy, their defensive rotations, everything has changed. They've gotten really good at playing defensive basketball, which was their biggest Achilles heel the last couple of years, right? And even this season. And then you look at, my opinion, the biggest thing is LeBron has found his role in this team. It's hard when you're probably one of the greatest players ever to play the game to now have to accept the fact that you're 41 and have to take on a different type of role. This isn't his team anymore, right? It's Luka's team.
Right.
And the number two in this team is Austin Reeves, not LeBron. Right? You have Luka's your top guy, Austin Reeves is your second guy, and then it's LeBron, right? And he's accepted that role. And since they've gone to that, and since it seems like he's accepted it, the Lakers have gelled. They are playing some of the most amazing basketball I've seen the Lakers play in some time, probably since the 2020 season. They just look really good. And you can see that LeBron is now having to not take it on his shoulders anymore. He kind of lays back a little bit more. He focuses on defense more, which he's a really good defensive player. It helps out a lot. He's kind of almost playing a backup center role, which you need with DeAndre Ayton. But even Ayton, I got to give him his flowers, has played better ball all of a sudden. And I think that's LeBron kind of backing him a little bit. And then LeBron kind of sitting back and just doing his role and then getting his opportunities when he needs to. Because if you need LeBron to go off for 5 minutes, you got LeBron James to go off for 5 minutes. And that's so critical. This team has a 1-2-3 punch, and then they have really nice pieces on the outside besides these guys to fill spots where it makes them very dangerous. I think that I even said this in the last few weeks that I didn't think the Lakers, I think they can make noise, but I didn't think they can win a championship. I'm starting to rethink that because of what I'm seeing them do. I think this team has a legitimate shot at winning a championship because I think they can take down San Antonio. I don't think I said it before. You take the big freak and put him on the bench. San Antonio is not a good team. They're not that great anymore. And as far as OKC, that would be the challenge, right? Can you get past OKC? And I think with the depth the Lakers have and how they're playing right now, I think they got a shot. But that's just my opinion.
Yes. So let's talk strategy here for a second.
Okay.
The best lineup that the Lakers can have involves all three, right? And so you start out with them and you would end with them. And part of that is, if we're all being honest, to massage the ego that is rightfully earned of LeBron James, and also to placate him of a man of his stature and his status. You need to have him as a starter. Utilized to the best of his ability, he would actually just not even start the game. He would lead the second unit, because he is still, even to this point, an offensive unit unto himself. He can lead a second unit to high effectiveness and make sure that they are scoring at a rate that is great. Like, is second really only to Luka Doncic. Still, I think that's why everybody thought that he would age gracefully, is because the way that he plays the game and is a distributor of the game, he is able to manifest that time and time again. The problem is when you have two people that sort of demand the ball now, let alone three people, you're kind of at a deficit talent-wise there. However, the talent demands that he plays at the end of games. And when you do that, you are mitigating the ability of your defense. Bar none. Yes, you have Marcus Smart there to help with that, because that's pretty much all he'll do. And he'll set screens as well. DeAndre Ayton is going to want the ball, but if he's willing to accept a lesser offensive role and just step up in defense, okay, you have a little bit there as well. Maybe Rui Hachimura if you need a smaller lineup, whatever. The point remains, though, with those three people on there, to where Luka Doncic neither desires nor is going to give you any defense. Austin Reeves doesn't have the physicality to give you defense. And LeBron James is freaking 41 years old. I can't expect him to sit in the chair against, I don't know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I can't expect him to sit in the chair against certainly Wembanyama. So whenever you're talking about these matchups, the difference that I have and why I elevate those three teams above the Lakers specifically, and why they have just that, an Achilles heel, is strictly because they have a weakness that the other teams do not have. The other teams are fully built teams that have no weakness. If they were to lose, it is because for the Celtics, the shots didn't fall. Or if it's the Thunder, because they are out-talented. But in this construction, the weakness of the team is not accounted for. And therefore, because of that Achilles heel, the Lakers cannot win a championship, but that does not take away from the fact that they can just be a fun team. The NBA, we are not allowed to have fun. We're not allowed to enjoy prosperity to being the third seed. That is worth an accomplishment. That is possibly deserving of an MVP on behalf of Luka Doncic, who is on a crazy run since separating from the mother of his kid.
No, Bam. But
do you think San Antonio can win a championship?
I do. The biggest thing that you can take away from them is that they are just young. And we just saw Oklahoma last year.
They were young and they won. I don't care about youth. Okay. That's not a thing for me.
Fine.
You think they can win?
I do.
And you don't think they have a weakness?
No.
Their weakness is their strength. Their weakness is their center. Because if he gets into foul trouble, they're not good anymore. They rely on one guy, right? That's their guy. If he's in the game, it makes them this great team. If he's out of the game, they go from here to here. So you take that one guy out, and what happens to San Antonio? But the strategy is go at him, take him out of the game, and then they're no longer this great team. And it's been done all season. People have done it to them.
I would argue that he turns them from a good team into a great team.
I agree.
That's where I say it is a good team with no weaknesses, nothing truly special. But he is such a force multiplier himself that alone
is a weakness.
It can be.
It is.
If they are able to mitigate him.
When you rely on one guy, it's a weakness.
So the Lakers can have a weakness that people strategize against, but the Spurs can't. That's the argument you're making here, is that nobody else can be strategized against. He just gave you a strategy to stop it, so the Spurs can't win.
It's because
based off your logic.
Because the Lakers have a built-in team constructive weakness that the Spurs do not have, because it is just one person.
That is a weakness.
The NBA then has a weakness as the fact that it is a superstar-driven league. So just as much as how any superstar-driven team can have a weakness by taking out a player or two, yes, but it is not a function of where we are going to have players that do not have access to a defensive function, such as Luka Doncic, who has no interest in being a defensive maven, who has no effort at times,
who has played great defense in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, 2-3 weeks, man. But like,
they've bought into what the changes are. If you watch, I can tell you haven't watched the Lakers in the last 3 weeks.
I have.
I don't think you have, because you wouldn't be saying what you're saying.
The Nuggets game, I mean, again, we are one Nuggets game away that went into overtime, away from just not having a 6, however many game winning streak that they're on right now, that we're all impressed by, that they're number 3.
You know what made the Lakers teams great in the 2000s, like the early 2000s? And don't say Kobe and Shaq. Of course, Kobe and Shaq, we get that. But you know what made those teams great? The role players buying into what their role was. That's why those teams won championships. The Robert Ory's of the world, the Byron Scotts of the world, the role players doing what they're supposed to do. And if you watch this Laker team, you see the role players starting to totally buy into what their role is. That's huge. When you got 3 guys that can carry a team for periods of time during a game.
Offensively, yes. And
you have 3 of those guys right now. And even defensively, LeBron James is a beast on defense, and he elevates other people with him. And you're even seeing, like I said, Doncic is actually starting to play really good defense. It makes them a different team, and it's a different conversation going forward. If they continue this role, they only got 12 games left, 11 games left, and they go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If this team stays at the level they're playing now, and if you look at their schedule these last 12 games, man, they're playing OKC twice, I believe. I think they play San Antonio. I'm not 100% sure about that. But they've got some tough games going into the end of the season. So we'll see how they do. But if they run through these 12 games and actually do some damage, the confidence level of this team going into the playoffs, this is not a team you want to face.
They actually don't play. Okay, so they got Detroit in 2 games.
With no Cade.
Yeah, with no Cade. We collapsed long.
They got OKC twice.
They got OKC twice. Yeah. They do. Not in a back-to-back, but they've got a Dallas. They got a Dallas in between, so at least they get a breather. What version of Golden State do they have? Is Steph back by then, near the end of the season? Okay, and then they end the year, if they need to, with an easy W with Utah.
Your statement games will be the OKC games.
Yes,
the OKC and possibly the Phoenix game.
Possibly,
just because Phoenix might actually,
if it means anything.
Yeah, Phoenix might actually really care about that game.
Yeah, if Phoenix is on the verge of getting a 6th seed, then they will definitely care about that game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, this team, they're dangerous. I don't like them. If you're going against the Lakers, man, on any given night, any one of those 3 can tear you apart. And lately, they're all doing it.
Anybody besides those 3 teams that I've listed, Celtics, Spurs, and Thunder,
all beatable.
No.
Yes,
they are.
Not unless it's
we literally just talked about the best teams do not always win.
Yes. I mean, if we're going to account for everything, I'm assuming health. That is where I'm going.
Some of those Miami was healthy against Dirk and they lost. So just because they're the best,
what was their fatal flaw when they had top 3 offensive guys? They didn't have a constructed team around them to mitigate the designed flaws that they had.
They still made it there. And in order for LA to make it there, they have to go through 2 of your 3 teams.
I know.
And then they have to face the weakest of the 3 teams.
I know. That's my point exactly. They are not going to be able to get through the gauntlet of the West, but it is still to be celebrated.
We'll see. I disagree 100%.
And I like the Lakers.
Phil's wrong about this kind of stuff a lot. So like we'll watch it all play out in real time.
Speaking of things that people can be wrong about,
you are an expert.
This Giannis situation is mighty tasty, guys. The fact that he absolutely refuses in almost the most infuriating way. Like, how do I put this? Dame Lillard did not really, as we've seen, desire to leave Portland. He almost did because of public pressure, and he was like, I do want to win a championship, and they're rebuilding. Let me go away. Let me go join Giannis, as a matter of fact, to see if I can ring chase. Fantastic. I don't think anybody begrudges him that. He's still beloved in Portland, as is shown by him taking an entire season off on Portland's dime, being given substantial money to do just that.
He won them a 3-point contest.
Won them quite a many few. Yes, but yes, this year specifically, and having not played. But Giannis just absolutely somehow decides not to want to be the villain and keeps refusing to get traded. And yet and still, the one thing that I've liked in this entire process, tells the Milwaukee Bucks, guys, I want to play. Coming back, I want to get back. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, in order to protect the value as a trade asset that Giannis presents, have said, we really would like to shut you down. Can you just play lame for these last couple games that aren't going to mean anything? Can you please, Giannis? What is your take on this, Ralph?
I haven't really thought, I'll be honest with you, I haven't thought much about it. But just if I sit here now and think about it, I understand why they want to shut him down, right? It makes a lot of sense.
They're right on the precipice of that 10 seed of the play-in tournament.
Yeah, so what? Are they going to go anywhere this year?
Also, on the precipice, they're 7.5 games out.
Yeah.
They're the 11th seed, have not been mathematically eliminated. On the precipice.
Why not? Why not just trade this guy? Is they just asking too much?
I truly, the problem is
neither side wants to take the hit of being the bad guy. And it's like, guys, it makes sense for everybody for you to get a divorce.
The problem is Giannis keeps trying to publicly say, I don't want to leave Milwaukee. I leave Milwaukee. And then he starts getting in fights with fans sitting on the bench. He's very clearly like they're trying to shop him around to see what they can get for him.
And it's probably not what they want.
Probably not, but also he keeps getting hurt.
In the same breath, in interviews, he'll go and say, my goal is always to stay here in Milwaukee, but also go wherever I can to win a championship. In the same breath.
Yes.
Same answer.
He will not commit to a side, and he keeps flip-flopping. And so then the Bucks just kind of sit there with their hands up like,
what the buck do we do?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want Giannis. I don't. He's a guy I don't want on my team because he's going to be hurt all the time.
His game
is incredibly physical.
And his body is not built to handle it.
What is he? How long has he been in the league? 13 years?
I believe so, because I think you might have been the same draft as Booker, if I remember correctly.
This is another one of those guys, real physical player, been in the league a long time. His body's taking a beating. He gets hurt all the time. The value's not there anymore, right?
2015?
2013. 13 years in the league.
Okay, so 13 years. I was right. Good guess. But the body's not where it needs to be anymore for the type of play that he's always played his whole career. So he has to either, one, change his style, which then basically hurts who he is, or two, keep doing it and keep getting hurt, and then you lose the value. So nobody's going to want to pay big money for this guy. You're going to want him on your team maybe at a lower price. Of course you would. But I understand where Milwaukee's coming from. They don't want him to get any more hurt because they want to see what they can get for him. I'm sure they're hearing, like you just said, they're hearing all the offers and they're probably not happy with a lot of them. And they're thinking, this guy gets hurt again, nobody's going to want him, right?
Yeah.
When's his contract up?
Oh, not for a while.
That's a great question.
Supermax. I think he's like got 2, maybe 3 more years.
Does he have a WNBA Supermax or an NBA one?
No, definitely. He's been getting paid $51 million.
Okay, so it's more than 1.4. Okay.
So he signed for next year, and then the year after that is a player option. And to be honest, at that point, I have to imagine he's actually going to take it, because 2 more years from now,
nobody wants him.
Or at the end of next year. So 1 more year from now,
he's not going to take it.
It's hard to believe someone would be willing to pay him $63 million is what his cap hit would be.
Look, he's not going to take it. He's not going to take it and extend a contract. You've seen this with Harden, a person that is unabashedly about the money time and time again. And the NBA is so desperate for talent that somebody will pay him the max, even if it is just the Clippers.
I don't see that. You're talking about a year from now?
Yeah.
No.
I think it really depends. If he does,
maybe the Clippers,
well, especially if when he gets traded, you're going to want to justify that investment.
If he gets traded,
he will.
We keep saying that. We've been saying it for the past 2 years, practically on and off.
I think to our earlier discussion, look towards the West, first of all, because the Bucks will certainly not want to face him in conference if they can help it.
Yeah.
But look at if my thoughts on the big 2 of the conference in the West are incorrect, and Oklahoma City Thunder were to be upset early, or the San Antonio Spurs were to be upset early, both of those teams have the assets in draft capital and young talent in order to be able to acquire a Giannis and absorb his talent into their system and it not disrupt everything. It would actually flow greatly. That you could find a space for Giannis in those teams. And even for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I know that they're probably the more unbelievable of the 2. But first of all, you've seen Giannis already play in a small market. He's not dictated by that. I know he's been toying with the idea of playing with the Knicks, but the Knicks would have to be a sweetheart deal. But and also for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're in a weird cap position where they have almost too much young talent to where in order to consolidate the finances of what they do, it's actually somewhat more beneficial of them to acquire a Giannis or a similar like contract so that way that they can mitigate.
It won't be Giannis. Neither of those teams, I think
the Spurs possibly.
I don't think either of them would do it for Giannis. I understand anything's possible. The Suns could do it. The Blazers could do it. The Kings could do it. Anything's possible.
You know what he is?
But
he's a marketing pool. He's a marketing piece. You know where he'd be good? The Supersonics when they come back in a year or two. You take a player like that, you
just
put
don't
him
even protect him.
Right. You take a player like that, you put him on one of these teams that
Or
are
in
brand
Vegas.
new. I mean,
Either one.
or Vegas, right? And that makes sense. He'll sell tickets. He'll bring people in because he'll be the head of that franchise, even though he's at the end of his career.
Yeah,
that's where it makes sense. Other teams like OKC, no way. Why would you bring a broken guy into that youth formula you have going?
I want to
do it.
I do want it to be said that you're alone on that mountain as far as I'm concerned. I'm not the one to say that Giannis is somehow who's averaging a damn near double-double
when he plays.
In rebounds and points. When he plays,
but there's the key.
That's what we're saying is he's not. He played 36 games this year.
Right. So what's
he might break 45 if depending upon when and if he actually comes
So you pay
back.
Supermax for a guy that plays half the games?
He has not played he's played 70 games, more than 70 games once in the past 7 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Like he's
Anthony Davis.
You can't give up this much for him. And the Mavs were the Lakers were lucky that the NBA pulled some strings to get that deal through.
Vegas should get Anthony Davis and Giannis. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And each one of them can play half the season.
Throw Joel Embiid in there to overlap with him.
Did you see that crazy stat about Joel Embiid? He's finally accomplished it. I forget what the number is, but he's played 415 games or something, and then he's not played 415 games in his career. He's finally reached 500.
Good for him. Good for him. But no, I think to put kind of a bow on this, I think he does need to get traded. As great as it could be in theory for the Thunder or Spurs as an organization for them to get him, I just don't think that they want to spend the assets on a guy that they can't trust to play, especially the Spurs who already have Wemby, who also kind of could be teetering on it being
to
an injury
maximize
problem.
your timetable right now. You get two physical freaks that can just run the league. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Speaking of running,
until they can't run.
Yeah. Speaking of running the league, let's talk about another baseball team that is running their league. The Dodgers are making it impossible for me to do predictions. I know are making it impossible for me to do predictions, but I'm glad that you guys are here to help me with it. Guys, let's run through the MLB and do a couple of projections. I dare say we start with the Dodgers because that is just the given of all givens, right?
So we're going to give our division winners.
Division winners, maybe.
And you want to start in the NL West?
Yes, because
we can. I think we can speed run this.
Yeah, as opposed to ending with them, like who's. Luke, are you going to be so bold as to not pick the Dodgers to win their division?
It's the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Bold's not the word. Stupid would be the word.
Yeah.
There we go. The West, we all have the Dodgers. Check. I mean, I think we all had to, if you want to have a moment more, the only thing I could see that would stop the Dodgers from their dominance, specifically at least to getting to the playoffs. In the playoffs, I think perhaps there's some weakness there that could possibly happen. And we'll have to see how that story unfolds. But I put it as hard to do and this is so much harder than any other team in baseball. But like 3 starters have to go down at the same time.
Their offense can still carry them.
And their offense can still carry them.
We don't need to spend a ton of time here. The only scenarios are
massive
catastrophes
injury.
where
the Black
just,
Plague comes back.
Just things that are not realistic.
Plain crap.
Acts of God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would be the only thing. And even then, I think they still make the playoffs because their farm system's that good.
It's not that good, but
division might be in jeopardy at that point. How much of a lead did they
The bottom
get?
line is Dodgers are looking good. They added Tucker. They added Diaz. Those are great fits for them. They've looked good all spring. Tanner Scott looks good again this spring, which is what you were hoping for. Trinan does not look good. I have a feeling he's on his way out. This team will be tough to beat, and they will win a division. I think we all agree. We can move on.
Let's go to the Central. plucky little Brewers, the St. Louis
Brewers.
Brewers in Milwaukee. Brewers won it last year. I have a repeat here. Does anybody feel so bold as to not have a repeat Brewers winning?
I don't have a repeat.
I don't have a repeat either.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead, Luke.
I have Cubs. I don't think, maybe I missed something when I was doing my research. I don't think the Brewers really made any huge moves that I thought moved the needle.
They paid. They were pretty pat.
Yeah, and then the Cubs added Bregman from the Red Sox, I believe, if I'm getting that right. And then Shelby Miller, who had a great year last year. And I think he's actually already on the DL for the start of the year. But if he can continue to perform in the bullpen like he did last year, I think that gives the Cubs some solid improvements. They were already it wasn't like they were, the bottom of the barrel there.
Tucker leaving does nothing for you for that team. I mean, they kind of didn't really play for them.
It doesn't help, obviously.
It hurts,
but it does hurt. But I think that you did add another piece offensively to help with that, and you still have enough other talent that in a division that will be basically kind of a 2-horse race, depending upon how Cincy does.
Ooh.
I think that you can still pull out a win there.
No belief in Skeens and the Pirates, the plucky Pirates. Ralph, now you loved the Reds last year. You maybe not love to win the division, but you said that they're going to be doing something. The playoff.
I said they'd make the
Reds.
playoffs, and they did.
Yes. Do you have the Reds winning the division this year?
No, I'm with him. I have the Cubs. I think it's the Cubs by a nose over the Brewers. The same things he just said. I mean, they focused on the bullpen, which they added. You said Miller. They also added Milner, Harvey, Maton. I like that they added Cabrera. I think this is a good team, even though they lost Tucker. My biggest hesitation with them is the starting rotation health. I'm concerned about Justin Steele. He's recovering from Tommy John. And then Suzuki's having some knee issues in spring. If they can stay healthy, it's a decent starting rotation, and they have enough to win this division, and they'll win it. So I'm going to go Cubs, but by a nose over the Brewers, because the Brewers will be right there.
Yeah, Brewers are like just a young talent getting a year older.
Remember, the Brewers are winning baseball. So go ahead.
They are certainly, especially with their pocket pancakes. Let's go to the National League East. I've got the Phillies winning this.
Really?
Yeah, they're still a team. They re-signed Schwarber. They're getting older. It might be considered something of a last hurrah. I know that Bryce Harper, they are just openly flirting with anybody to take his contract maybe a year earlier than he's still got some production in him, but he's certainly getting close to that Mendoza line of just debating whether or not he'll play more games than not. But I still feel like the Phillies are motivated to win this division. They certainly have the bankroll to win this division. But it's close. And Ralph, where do you agree with me that the Phillies will win this?
No.
Who do you got?
I do like the Phillies, but I like the Braves.
They had a bad year last year.
I know, but to me, this is the most complete team in this division. And they did have a really bad start last year that really hurt them at the end of the year.
So bad.
And I don't think they'll have that bad start this year. They lost Profar to the suspension. We all heard about that. So that will be a bit of a hit. But I do think that overall, this team has stayed in place. The continuity is there. It's a very quality team, quality lineup. And I think there's enough there to actually pull this division out. It'll be close. This is a 3-horse race, right? This is Phillies, Mets, and Braves. But I think the Braves are good enough to eke it out.
I'm in sync with Ralph over there. I think that the Braves last year, a lot of that rough start and a lot of that bad year was just everybody was getting hurt. I think that if everyone can stay healthy this year, they got I believe a new closer this year with Suarez. I just think that they're going to have a huge comeback this year, and I'm going with them to win the division as well.
So for dark horse out of the National League, I would assume that does not qualify. Well, it can, I suppose, depending on how surprising a division winner is. So I won't go that far. Luke, who do you have as your dark horse out of the National League?
It's going to be a homer pick for me. It's the D-backs. I think that
very dark.
I know, right?
The black horse. That's so dark.
I think that last year their bullpen was decimated with injuries to where even just halfway through the year, they were just signing whoever they could off the street to just throw innings. There was no shot. They went through I think they had 8 different players record a save throughout the year. It was an insanely high number. So I think at the end of the day, if they can survive the first half, and the second half is when they can get Corbin Burns back, they can get Justin Martinez back from their Tommy Johns. If they can come back and really, they have the talent. It's just, can the talent stay healthy and be put together? Geraldo Perdomo is a fantastic young player who's slept on. Corbin Carroll is back from his injury. Ketel Marte, with all the off the field stuff aside, he is still one of the best.
Robbed.
Yeah, he's still one of the best second base.
Certainly not win the division. Let us not get that confused. That is not what this is. It's dark horse in playoffs only. Giants, I think, though, make the playoffs. Let's switch over to the American.
Sorry, we have bitter Dolphin fans.
Yes.
I don't know what happened, but we fixed it.
Okay.
American League is now the side of the coin that we will be going to, which I think is a little more fun because the Dodgers are not ruining baseball, but they're ruining projections. That I will say. How about that? American League, I'm going to start out with, why don't we start out with the West as well? We just did that, and we'll do that for the American League. Mariners won it last year. I'm going to stick with them. I like me a big dumper. You know, there's a few tenants in my life, and I like me a big dumper. I'm going with the Mariners to win the West. Anybody disagree?
No, I have the Mariners too. This is their year to win that division again.
Yeah.
I like them.
I have the Astros.
Okay.
And
explain yourself.
For me, this was almost a coin flip. It was a coin flip for me. I thought, I looked at both teams. I personally thought that the Astros just might be able to be a little bit better than they were last year. And I think that there's potential that the Mariners end up just kind of, that was their peak. Cal Raleigh's probably not having a repeat of what he did last year.
I mean, it's the first year of its kind ever, really. So, I mean, it's not that much of a stretch to say.
This is a prove it year.
Yes, exactly. To me, if they win it, I won't be shocked. However, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'll go with the team that I think has a little bit more experience. And I think that at the end of the day, that was just kind of the difference. Is I know the Astros, for better or worse, have had more success over the past 10 years than the Mariners.
Oh my God. Do you know Cal Raleigh's on such a sweetheart deal? Do you know that he signed his contract extension prior to last season? He's going to only cost $12 million, $13 million. Then we get into the real expensive portion where he'll be $24.5 million for the next following 3 years. My goodness.
I mean, that's what baseball's moving towards. Corbin Carroll, same thing. He's already locked up. Perdomo's locked up. Like, you just take those young stars and you give them a bigger contract earlier.
Deal. My goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have the Astros, but to be perfectly honest, like I said, it was a
you're
coin
not full
flip.
of conviction on
Yeah,
that.
not really.
What about the Central? I believe that the Tigers are more the team that jumped off to the hot start than the team that barely made the playoffs last season and gave up the division league. So I'm going to go with the Tigers and a last year of Skubal over there to win the Central. Ralph, who do you got winning the Central?
I mean, they're the cleanest pick, right? The Tigers make sense. They added Valdez, they added Verlander. Well, Reed brought him back. They added Kenley Jansen. So they're not great ads. They're just but they are the cleanest pick in this division. This division doesn't have a whole lot in it, in my opinion. They should cruise in this division, in my opinion. I'm gonna take Tigers too.
Well, this is the opposite. I'm going the Royals.
Okay, I'm turning your mic off.
I'm going Kansas City Royals.
Bobby Witt Jr. That's
the guy.
Yeah. Option number one.
Salvador Perez. He's he been pretty good the year last year. I have a little asterisk next to the Royals. And my asterisk says least competitive division.
Yeah.
Only winner last year to not break 90 wins.
Yeah.
They're the only ones. And to me, that was the key here. It was a 3-horse race, really, I think, between the Tigers, the Royals, and then the Guardians, who did win it last year. I don't think any of these teams, like Ralph kind of alluded to, I don't think any of them really made any huge plays to get better. So I think we're going to see basically the same thing that we saw last year.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, if you're asking, I'm not 100% convinced if the Tigers don't get off to like a good start, if they, for whatever reason, have a bad start, I could see Skubal being traded at the deadline, and then they're definitely dead.
To your point, I was going to make this point. I do think the Tigers are the first to flinch team, where if they are under projections, if they are not winning the games that they feel like they should be winning to at least start the year, and then just continue to lose and don't look like they're within a stone's throw of winning the division, let alone getting a playoff spot, I feel like they're the team that is certainly going to be sellers. They will look to be sellers actively on the trade deadline, more so than the Guardians and Royals, who have younger teams, not right now teams. Okay, fair enough. Then we go to the East. Ralph, who do you got winning this one?
Not the Blue Jays. Just want to make that point.
Just lay that out.
You'll probably not like my pick, but I'm going to go with what I think is the most complete team still in this division that should win this, and it's going to be the Yankees. They still have the best lineup. They still have the best rotation. It's the best team there. They kept key pieces this year. They kept Bellinger. You still got Goldschmidt and Grisham and
Judge
Rosario.
kills in the regular season.
I like the Yankee makeup. They're made to win this division. I know a lot of people are going to jump on the Blue Jay bandwagon because of how hot they were last year, and especially toward the end of the season. I'm just not there. I just don't think you're going to see a repeat from that team. I think the Yankees will probably play a little better ball this year. They kind of struggled last year a little bit too. Stupid Hamburgers beating Dortmund 2-0.
I've been following.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Yankees to win this division. I like the Yanks.
All right.
And I hate the Yankees too.
Team I don't have winning the division. Go ahead, Luke.
I don't have them winning the division either. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I have the Blue Jays.
All right.
I do.
Cut his mic.
They did it. You're the one in charge of the mics.
I know. I'm talking to myself.
They did it last year. I know it was, a tie at the end and they won it on tiebreakers. But they won. And I think that there's, if they can keep up the momentum they had at the end of last year, and I'll admit sometimes teams do, sometimes they don't, sometimes it is that fallacy. But at the end of the day, I just don't trust the Yankees until they can prove to me that they can win a World Series. I'm not going to trust them. I'm just not. I think that I don't want to say they got lucky a couple years ago, because I think that's a bad way to phrase it. But I think that this team has just not consistently proven that they are the clear number one favorite. And I think, with this, I think even the Red Sox, depending upon what they can put together, will be a little bit more of a challenge this year. But at the end of the day, I'm going with Vladdy Jr. And I think that team's going to win again.
I do think across MLB, you do have to love yourself some Vladdy Jr. He is just a delight to watch. He's a joy. I'm serious. I'm being serious. I don't know what Ralph's doing.
Not a joy.
My division winner is the all-in-one, the same as my dark horse. I do not have the Yankees. I do not have the Blue Jays. I'm looking at you. Good morning, Baltimore. Baltimore Orioles are winning this division. And I know what you're saying.
You're on drugs.
You're on drugs is exactly where I was going. But they've got a new manager. Why do they have a new manager? Because this team underperformed to its talent level last year. Craig Alvarez, who? Yes, exactly. He was the minor league manager for the Tampa Bay Rays farm system. Identified great talent over there. I think he's able to do a lot of good things. But of course, I'm not resting on a manager. I'm also looking at a newly acquired Pete Alonso. I'm looking at just a great pitching staff over there. Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish. I like him. And it's a team that I like him.
I like him.
I'm not going to go out and
say with your chest.
I like him. The Orioles, I think, are a team that have far underperformed to their talent level. They were a disappointment last year. I think that this is a team that in a muddied, carnivorous division that will eat itself alive. I think that the Orioles will be the surprise team that can sneak up on teams that won't get their best effort until it's far too late. They'll build up a division lead and book it now. You want value? Orioles. Orioles are a team to be afraid of.
Is that your dark horse too?
That is my dark horse. Yes, all in one. So then I guess then that begs the question, Luke, who's your dark horse team and why is it the Orioles?
It's not the Orioles. I actually went through and I even tried to convince myself maybe the Rays had a shot, and I didn't even consider the Orioles in any of that.
You're going to pick my dark horse. Go ahead.
I don't think the Rangers.
Nope, you're not.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texas Rangers. We had a discussion before the camera started rolling on what we really considered a dark horse.
Yeah.
This was kind of the one that was a little bit more up in the air. I think that we all kind of had relatively the same thought, but we all kind of tweaked the parameters just a little bit. The AL for me was the harder one to pick because to me, a dark horse is somebody who we don't even expect them to win a division. So that automatically ruled out people like the Mariners, who I didn't have winning the division. It ruled out the Guardians or Tigers, because even though I didn't have them winning the division, I thought that it'd be competitive. It ruled out almost the entire AL East for me, except for the Orioles, who I never even considered for a second. So for me personally, I almost went with the Athletics. I almost went with the Sacramento A's.
Yeah,
I did not.
Sacramento A's.
However, I went with the Texas Rangers. I think they ended up at 500. They had a plus 79 run differential. So they just kind of ended the year on a very, very bad streak. They went 2-8 in their final 10 games. So I can do math. Good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. So, that was kind of the difference between them making the playoffs as a wild card last year and sitting at home. And so I think that this is a team that, with another year of experience, they didn't make any they had one big trade. And that was basically it for them this offseason. They traded Simeon for, I wrote it down, but I already can't read my own handwriting now here. So, but they made one big trade. And I think that I believe Brandon Nimmo If I'm
Okay.
Brandon Nimb. Oh yeah, Nimmo. Nimmo.
it's-
Nimmo.
yeah. Okay, so I had it in my brain. I just had to look for it. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, if they can do what they did at the start of last year and just have a better finish, they can possibly get into the playoffs. And I think they might make a little bit of noise.
They could win the wild card round.
Maybe.
A little bit of noise.
And yeah, that's my dark horse.
That was very clever, Ralph.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You guys are overlooking one team, the Red Sox.
Oh, I was going to say the Yankees aren't a dark horse team.
I didn't consider them a dark horse because I thought they had a chance to win the division.
No, they would be a dark horse because they're okay. If you look at Boston, what I really like about them is their big three in the pitching rotation. Garrett Crochet, dude's legit nasty. They signed Ranger Suarez. That's a good signing for them. And you got Sonny Gray. You even got Bello. You've got three really good pitchers, a fourth that's pretty good also. If you look at their lineup, they're okay. They're not going to blow you away. I love Roman Anthony, of course. I think you know who that is.
Yep.
Trevor Story, Wilson Contreras, Weiler Abreu. Good players, good gap hitters. You don't have a whole lot of power there, but guys that can make some noise. This team could easily win high 80s in games, and I think that's enough to make it as a wild card. That no one's really looking at them because their lineup is not crazy and exciting to look at. So I think people are kind of going, yeah, that's great. It's the pitching that should scare you. And I think if they can get into a wild card spot and you have those three guys as your top pitchers, now you can actually make some noise in a playoff run. So they're a little interesting and a little dangerous. I would keep an eye on these guys in the AL. I think they're an interesting team in the AL. So I like the Red Sox as a dark horse.
So there you have it. I think most shocking prediction has to go to me with the Orioles.
You could call it shocking or you can call it stupid, I guess. I'm not really sure which one.
Had you committed to the A's, that would have
been the worst.
That would have been the worst.
I was just thinking back and I was like, the problem I have with the Athletics and the Rays go through the same thing is at the end of the day,
does their team even want to win?
Well, not just that, but it's like they are the entire MLB's farm system. They are a quad A team that has good talent from time to time. I mean, one of their guys just had a cycle last year.
Yeah,
a cycle.
Yeah,
like he's cycling.
Like he actually. I know it's crazy, but he hit for the cycle.
Oh! I thought we were talking about something physical.
He had 290 batting average, 36 home runs, 86 RBIs. Like they have talent on this team.
Yeah.
They don't have enough of it.
No.
They don't have nearly enough of it. No. But to me, it's like, how can you not be romantic about baseball and pick?
Pretty easy. So we're moving on to football.
Haze.
Wow.
Okay.
Can I just say something about football real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm sure you guys noticed this yesterday, but JSN and Witherspoon both got their option year picked up.
The fifth biggest duh in all of sports.
Yeah. Right. Which is the biggest duh, right? I think JSN getting a $2.7 million base in 26, and Witherspoon's getting what, a $3 to $4 million base. But then what happens to them that option year is crazy. JSN goes to 23.8 million, and then Witherspoon goes to 21.1 million.
Yeah,
which to me that's crazy, but it's still way worth it. Obviously.
Oh yeah, they're being underpaid at those.
And I know we don't have time to get into the whole new proposal, and we can talk about it next week about the 5-year contract and what that means for the players. Because I guess in this model, they're kind of getting screwed a little bit in the sense where they could make more money the other way. I don't understand it 100%. I need to do my research on it. I don't know if you already did, but
are you talking about the 5-year trade window?
There's some kind of a 5-year. They're trying to make the initial contract 5 years without an option year.
Oh,
you hadn't seen that?
I had not seen that.
A straight 5-year contract.
Oh,
we can talk about it next week. But anyway, I was just excited to say that JSN and Witherspoon just got wrapped up for the next 2 years. So that's great.
Yeah. Again, every so often you find hard decisions, whether that be like a Mac Jones 5th-year option where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this, but even at a quarterback level, it's value. Maybe even at a running back level, if you look at I don't know, I'm trying to think of the Cleveland Browns running back right now. When he gets to his 5th, Bijan Judkins, where you're like, maybe he'll be worth a 5th-year option, but he's Bijan Robinson. But for JSN and Witherspoon, those are no brainers of 5th years. I like that's just
at a discount.
Yeah.
Another one, Penix. Penix is going to be another one where you scratch your head like, do I really want to take this 5th year?
Maybe.
He might not even beat Tua.
Okay. The fact that they've openly made this into a competition is actually surprising to me. Not just the fact that it is.
I don't think it is.
Why is it surprising?
Because what we are doing to these quarterbacks is, lest we forget, Kirk Cousins was entrenched as a starter when they got Penix. Penix was the backup option. Like in an ideal world, the Falcons would have never even gone to Penix in his first year of starting. Like he's an injury prone player that you would never hope to go there. In his second year, where he is the entrenched starter, injuries which are accompanying with him, he looked great, dare I say, until he got that foot injury. And for a non-mobile pocket passing quarterback that Penix is, he's a quarterback that's definitely going to need those feet to plant to be able to get a lot of the power, as he doesn't have a natural cannon up for an arm. Right. The fact that you've got a young player that you drafted, that you sank so much draft capital into, I'm going to say that it's surprising that they would bring in Tua and actually hold an honest to goodness quarterback competition for him, because while I think it's a tremendous backup quarterback option, like it's one of the rare ones where I was like, that makes a tremendous amount of sense. You got both handedness as well as style of play. They mirror each other and complement each other well, where you won't miss a beat in theory of going from one to the other should an injury occur, when an injury occurs.
Say when,
yeah. But that being said, the fact that you're even making this a competition is risky, and is part of why I think the Falcons are so melodramatic on a lot of their quarterback options, and why they are so allergic to prosperity.
I think it's fine. I think maybe you're being a little dramatic here.
No,
I think that everyone knew it was going to be a competition regardless. Just be honest.
I didn't. I'll be honest. I did not think it was. You didn't. I thought they were going to give him the job. I mean, they drafted him to be so. JJ McCarthy performed horribly. Penix, I thought, had more highlights and more good stuff on his tape to justify another year of starting him, and just hope that he's going to stay healthy.
He's had already 2 ACLs. I mean, he's always hurt.
And I also think at the end of the day, the offense as a whole has so many good weapons. It's hard to look bad in that offense, which is why what Kirk Cousins did was even more impressive. I know he was battling through injuries while trying to play, but like there are just so many.
He was impressive in how bad he was.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, I mean, I think you have so many good weapons on that offense. You have to look at least average and competent. It's impressive to look bad in that offense.
I guess, Ralph, are you? So you're saying no matter who wins, the Falcons lose?
Yes.
Yeah. Sum it up for.
I mean, look at it this way: when Tua's healthy, the Dolphins had a top 5 scoring offense. But when's the last time Tua was healthy?
It depends on what your definition of healthy is and whether or not
where he wasn't
have lingered as a
stars
when he only saw one finger.
Yeah,
I mean, he held it up.
I don't understand the signing of Tua, because unless they did some kind of extensive medical thing on him and they said, okay, I don't know. Regardless, we're talking about the Falcons. Who cares?
And Justin Fields to the Chiefs, that is dangerous for their goal line package. Let me tell you.
That's just for the beginning of the year. I mean, right? So that's just a...
Yeah,
I don't even know why
it's a bridge to Mahomes.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like there could have been better bridges there.
It depends on whether or not Patrick Mahomes is going to start the first 3 games or not.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week. It's the Weekend Warriors. Enjoy the rest of your week.